is Hangouts, and today you get an opportunity to kind of check us out and learn a little bit about the host of the show and what it is we do. Because, to be quite honest, you guys are super blessed enough to have some super awesome people that are hosting the show anyway. So, hello there. I'm your host, Camay, Monique.
Mario Lee. Well, really, I'm not the host, but this is like a special show.
Yeah. So normally we have a guest on the show, and we kind of dig into some of the things and the events and the talents that they have. But what is exciting is that right here, in the mix of what we're doing with this show, we have a lot of talented people too. So today, you kind of get in our business and get skinny on that as we're hanging out.
Oh yeah, and plus what makes it so special is like most of the artists that we interview are locally. I mean, from cooking, from fighting, from independent producers, filmmakers. You love it. Just
pay attention to what we got, because we actually were out just a few minutes ago just kind of talking to some people, and they were like, what do we got going on here? Kansas City has a lot of talent, period, hands down.
A lot of talent that people don't know of. So we're introducing everybody that talent.
Right. So make sure you tune in. So today on the show, I get to dig into Mario and get into his business, and you guys get to know more about him, and then he kind of gets to get into my business, so you know a little bit about me.
Hey, I thought you was going first.
Well, I mean, however it goes.
Oh no,
cool.
yeah,
Cool. Yeah, cool.
I mean,
However you
ask
wanna
away.
do it. So Mario, tell us first of all what it is you do.
I'm an independent filmmaker. That's my true heart. I dabble in a little bit producing music, just a little, but I consider myself as a filmmaker.
And by add to his filmmaking, he's like one of the most underrated people that I know, because his stuff is pretty dope. You gotta check it out. So,
thank you.
You're very welcome. How did you kind of get into filmmaking?
Well, it started as me young, being in school. I was like, I think I was like 10 years old, and I used to draw these little these cartoons, Star Wars cartoons.
Oh yeah.
I mean, just like.
Were they good?
Yeah. It was just like battle, boom, boom, just crazy.
So you're a diehard Star Wars fan.
And I actually see sure.
Yes, I see.
I actually finally went and saw it. Star Wars we went to the drive-in. I think Prairie Village used to be like way on Truth, 71st and Truth.
Okay.
I saw that, and after that, I was hooked. That's what I wanted to do.
Awesome. And so you said that was like when you were 10. So how soon did you start making film?
Oh, I actually started after I graduated, because in the high school I went to, they didn't teach it, and so I basically watched movies at that time. But after high school, they still here in the city really didn't have filmmaking, and the community college they didn't have it. It was more like broadcasting. So I started out doing that first. So I did a little broadcasting first.
Awesome. Cool.
I did that, and then from there, I think it was like still in the 90s, I kind of transferred into the filmmaking world.
Awesome.
And from there, I was hooked.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Cool. So what are some of the things that you've filmed?
I mostly it's been music videos. Right now I'm currently working on a project. It's a feature-length film, Troublesome.
Yes.
And which you probably know because she's the star. Troublesome. It has its ups and downs from filmmaking, but right now that's what I'm currently doing.
You hit on something important, and I wouldn't even thought of that until you just said it. But in filmmaking, first of all, what are some of the things that, if somebody were aspiring to be a filmmaker, what are some of the things that they could expect?
To expect?
Because I know there are good things, and I know there are bad things, but
you always got to, being a filmmaker, you always got to consider the pros and the cons to it, because doing filmmaking, you always have to have a budget. You don't have to have a budget. it depends on how you go about
It
how
helps.
much. Yeah, it helps, and how bad you want the film.
Right.
To do the film. Um, it. I think if you just get a camera, because nowadays you can shoot a film on just about anything, and just do it.
Awesome.
Yeah, just like start filming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what's up. And then I asked a question. I probably rudely, sorry, because I have a habit of that. Because I've been thinking of stuff and I just jump in. So I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off. But tell us about some more of the things that you've done. We talked about Troublesome. What else have you?
I did some little short films that I did, little goofy short films. Gamer. I never showed it.
Why not? Why not?
Oh, it was something I thought of, and I just thought it was goofy.
Oh.
So it's on. I think it's on YouTube. I think it's still on YouTube, but I don't really promote it that well. And I just recently shot a short film called me doing a contest.
Awesome. Awesome. Cool. And I know that you did one because I saw it. Where you filmed it, like, is it on the plaza or what was it at? Not the plaza, but Crown Center. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Oh yeah, that was actually I was a DP on the DP and assistant director on there, so I was kind of doing them both too, and the writer. I kind of wrote part of it, and that was actually for a contest.
Awesome.
And it was actually it turned out pretty good. I mean, because when we were shooting it, we actually we only had like 24 hours to do it at a certain time, and then was it 24 or 2 days? I think it was 2 days. I'm sorry, it was 2 days, and then we
but still,
that first day we shot it, but the main director he wanted to do some more stuff to it, and then we ended up going over the time that we needed to so we can edit. And so we were like we were really pressured to get it edited.
Awesome.
And so that first draft that I actually introduced was like a real rough draft because you know it was like on a fly edit.
Right. Okay. So we've talked about Troublesome a little bit. Tell us what that is going to be about. Of course, I know what it's going to be about, but tell everybody who hasn't, of course, seen it, which is everyone, what it's going to be about.
It's about a young man, and of course, his name is Trouble. He actually became famous in this local area, owning a club, and in between owning that club, he kind of like got some enemies that was kind of jealous of him taking on the business. So basically the whole movie is a whole big setup. I ain't gonna give too much because it's a racy setup.
Okay,
so
cool,
that's all I'm gonna say.
Awesome. Awesome. And so tell us about the progression of that film.
The progression? It actually, it's a long production. You know, like I said, we started on it. I started on actually a couple of years ago, and then had to stop, and then recently, last year, started back on it, shot some more of it. So it's just really a slow process. I always call it when I talk about it, it's like in the 10-year of the making. So.
Okay. Well, cool.
So I actually, if you look behind us, you can see the trailer that we have up.
Trouble.
So that's it, the trailer. So you can check it on my YouTube, 3M Films, if you want to see the whole story.
Okay.
The whole trailer, I'm sorry.
Awesome. And so the 3M Films, right?
Yeah.
Is that where people can go to find the rest of your work so they can check you out? Awesome.
Yeah.
Cool. So we will be right back, and then we're going to jump right back in. See how much of me you can dig into if I let you. All right. So today on Hangout, you get an opportunity to take a look at us, your hosts, your producers, the people behind the scenes on the show. Because to be quite honest, we do a lot of interviews for, really awesome people here around the Kansas City area. But what you don't know is that you have some pretty awesome people hosting the show and that are behind the scenes of the show. So stay tuned and watch as
We going to Subway to get something to eat.
Mr. Goodson. Hello. How are you? Hello. Yeah, a few sandwiches. Oh, did he say what he wanted?
He just said a cold cut.
A white? What would you say? Wheat bread, white bread?
White. Just
white
white.
bread. You got like a cold cut trio here. They do at the other place, but I won't mention the name.
We got a original.
Oh, I'm sorry.
But you say hey to Kansas City.
Yeah, you're gonna be on the show.
On the show. Oh man.
Pizza Club, Italian.
Do that original.
Original. You want 16?
Welcome back to Hangout. We're gonna interview Camay this time, but
I did want to ask you before we move into me, because we see the trailer for Troublesome, but there's also more that you've done for that in the promotion of it. So.
Oh yes, we thanks for you again. We did a music video. We actually did a song for the soundtrack, and it's called Trouble.
Trouble.
Yeah, like the movie Troublesome, and it's really hot. So check it out. It's on my YouTube too. It's on Camay's YouTube. It's called Trouble. It's hot. Check it out. But coming back to Camay, now tell the world a little bit about you. And this started out again. I know from working with you, you're really into music. You have a beautiful voice.
Oh,
and
thank you.
Tell us how that started.
You know what? I've been singing since forever, since I can remember. You know what I mean? I think I probably came out singing. And honestly, even me singing now, just because I love to do it. You know what I mean? How did I get started? I'm going to have to credit church, because of course, you know what I mean? And go to church and sing.
Come out of church singing. They like your most beautiful voices.
Yeah.
They start out in church.
Right.
And then,
I guess I hadn't even really thought about it. You know what I mean? But yeah, I would have to credit church. I did a lot of singing in church. And I grew up in Baptist church, and we didn't always have musicians, and so our voices is what carried, you know what I mean, the music. So that's what I knew.
tell me, well, what's your style? I mean, because I know people, they have they kind of style they go with.
Right.
Oh, and let me ask you this: who, as coming up as a singer, who do you hit? Who inspired you?
You know, some of these questions are good questions because I don't really even think about them. I know that my mom loved Luther Vandross, and so we listened to a lot of things like that. I mean, we listened to music. I kind of like, you know, the mainstream things that were on the radio at the time. I can't say that I have just one particular person that I listen to. Because to be quite honest, I'm like one of them people that'll just get in the shower and sing. It could be absolutely horrible, but it just feels right. So I guess, of course, I'm a 80s baby, and I grew up in the 90s, so all like the R&B feel of things, the people that were of the time.
Do you have any projects that you're working on currently?
Yes.
I know you have songs you're already done.
Yeah.
So.
I released an EP in 2015, and I kind of like send it out to different places, and it kind of still gets a little, it kind of gets credit still, you know what I mean? I uploaded it to places like Reverb Nation, where it still like ranks in some of the top regionally and locally, so it's still kind of hanging on, you know what I mean? I do have a project that I started, but it's a very slow process.
I know music is it is your first love, right?
Right.
Yeah. So what inspired you to get into acting? Because I know you're an actress too.
You know what? It's a long story, but
because I know me, as for getting into music, I always thought music played in the same same category as filmmaking.
Yeah.
So that's what actually
Yeah.
made me wanted to kind of dabble in music videos and.
Right. I love music at heart, you know what I mean? And I did things like plays and stuff in middle school and different things like that, but I wouldn't
What's your favorite play? Sorry to cut you out.
My favorite play was a play that I wasn't even in. Does it have to be something I was in?
Yeah, something that you was in. Yeah, that's what I'm talking. Yeah.
Well, my favorite play honestly would have to be.
Or should I ask what one of the plays that you've done growing up, and regardless if you was in school or if it was just a play.
I remember, and I hope that you guys are watching. Anybody that remembers, I was in middle school and.
They better be watching.
And my middle school teacher, Mr. Himovitz, is a.
Oh, you remember your teachers?
I do remember him because of the play.
Well, I take that back. I mixed Miss Orr. She was a mean teacher. Well, I'm sorry to cut you out.
No, you're fine. And we did some kind of play, and I don't even remember the name of it, but it had to do with a camp. Tomahawk, because I remember we said that. It had to do with like a camp life, and there were like camp leaders, and there were people that came to the camp. I don't even remember what it's about, but that was the best one, my favorite.
Since we're talking about that, I'm gonna just jump off a little bit and kind of something about me. I did a play that kind of like jogged my head.
Yeah.
And I don't remember what grade I was in, but it was a Nutcracker, and I was one of the soldiers. And the only thing I remember is holding up the little what you call the guns, the little rifle, and marching across the stage.
Nutcracker. I'm gonna have to mess with you about that one for sure. The Nutcracker soldier. That's awesome.
Yeah.
But then you asked me how I kind of got into acting.
Yeah.
So I really hadn't thought about it at all. But at a point in my life at that point, I didn't do a whole lot of stuff for myself. And I actually was contacted by a friend. I'll credit Dre for that. He contacted me and said that a friend of his was doing a play and that I should try out. Like, I don't want to do a play. And then I was like, I do want to do a play. I'm going to try, you know what I mean? And I couldn't find the place, and I was super late. So I didn't think I was going to get it anyway. But I went in there, and it was The King by Make Gulliver's production.
Oh, cool.
Yes. Cool. And so I went in there, and I did it, and she was feeding me the words because I didn't even know the words to the song, and I sang it, and I ended up getting one of the lead roles. So that was pretty cool.
Oh, cool. What made you, I know play is, I mean, they all fall in the same core category of filmmaking, but what made you want to be on the big screen? Because that's a different ball game from doing plays than, because it's more controllable. Yeah. Like when you're shooting. Because on the play,
and that's how I connected with you, because I submitted I submit my resume to different acting website, and you had something in this area. It was for Troublesome actually, and I submitted to it.
Well, actually, I had two of them. I don't think you've seen them. I think you actually applied to both of them, but actually I wanted you for Troublesome.
Oh, cool.
That's another project on our roster, so
awesome.
We ain't gonna get into that one day.
So I just applied, but what made me want to do it, I don't know. I just thought maybe I would try. I liked acting on stage, and I didn't really know the difference. So there is a big difference in acting on stage and then acting in movies. It's a lot easier in movies, actually, because if you mess up, you can fix it.
Yeah, because once you lie, go on stage, I mean, that's it. That's a done deal.
Yeah, and so I came here that day, and I remember when I came in for the audition, I came in for the one of the cop roles, because I was ready. I was psyched to be the cop, because it just seemed like, and you're like, you're Lisa.
Yeah, when I saw you, she was just that whole character. It was just like, oh, that is Lisa right there. So
you knew I was crazy all the way up to the point of that.
No, you just lit. It just I saw Lisa there. I mean,
I gotta check out Troublesome, because Lisa, she's something.
Yeah, that's as far as we go.
Right.
Because it's like she said, it's gonna be hot. Even though it's taking us forever, but it's
gonna get done.
Yeah.
So, and I mean, from there, we kind of connected, and then some of the projects that we're working on, it's almost like, you know how you just have a passion for something, and a lot of people are doing things, and they're in it because they want to get rich and they want to get famous. I'm in it because I have a passion for what I'm doing. You know what I mean? We're like one big old family, so it's cool.
Yeah, and you know, when I did the rehearsal, not the rehearsal, but when I did the casting, the casting call, I even mentioned that, or maybe it wasn't the rehearsal, that I want us to be like a family, because the more we trust each other and like each other, the more we feel comfortable doing the film, and it becomes and I know it's hard work, but it becomes fun hard work.
Right, I agree.
So, hey, it's time for us to go to a break right now, but stay tuned. We will be back in a moment.
Wicka, wicka, wicka.
Boom.
We had on the show was an MMA fighter,
Oh yeah.
Mr. Rudy Bears.
Yeah.
And then the third people.
Just some
that
good
we
stuff.
had on the phone.
So you count then.
5, 3, and we're back. Hey,
Boom.
we're gonna get right back into it. We'll finish up some questions, and then we got a little surprise for you towards the end.
Yeah, I kind of, well, before I went to break, you was kind of getting into the whole process of acting between plays and being on screen. Kind of elaborate.
So for plays, you don't really. Sometimes you gotta ad lib. Like if I forget something right in the middle of a play, I don't get to just stop and be like, okay, let's do that again. You gotta keep going. You gotta be sharp. You gotta be on your toes. So I think it was a little bit more challenging as far as remembering and doing things. And then for the movie, it's a lot of parts because of course you have the technical parts. You have
and you can stop anytime when you say cut. And you
yeah,
can stop like,
right. So yeah, definitely a whole different world of things. You would think they would be a little bit more similar, but to me, they're totally different. And then, as I say, for me, sometimes working with some of the different people, you know what I mean? Because, like for instance, you know, some of the people that we've interviewed, and they talk about the different schools and the different trainings that they have. Because I haven't had a whole lot of training in acting.
You know what? It's a lot of stars and a lot of directors that didn't go to school. Yeah. And so I mean, their films are pretty good.
Well,
and so
awesome.
I mean, I don't discredit it. I mean, if you can go to school, go to school.
Right.
But
right. Cool. I guess I'm just silly in real life. I don't know if that's what you want to call it. I can put on multiple people. I don't know.
See, that's why she's Lisa. I mean,
yeah, I gotta check out the movie because Lisa is serious. So you keep referring to that, but I'm like silly. But
before we get out of here, you kind of hit a note on that having a passion for the film, because you know when we're out there shooting, it's like you like wearing a different hats, like where you production assistant, the actor, and you sitting there like saying action and giving me kind of tips. That's kind of.
I don't know. I think that's just kind of me. I mean, I don't want to get too deep, but I've experienced a lot of different things. I've not always been the most outgoing person. I've not always been the kind of person that'll speak up for myself. Well, kinda, but not in a what's the word that I'm looking for? Not in a productive way, should I say? You know what I mean? So now I'm a little bit more outgoing, and I'm just a go-getter. Like if I see something, like ooh, and my mind is always like doing these different things. Like ooh, yes, I got to do it. And what I believe, you know what I mean? Of course, I'm a gospel artist, so what I believe in my belief system is that I can do all things.
So before we get out of here, what you want the world to know about Camay?
it ain't about me, really. Everything that I do is about the message that goes forth, that comes from me. You know what I mean? I'm living the gospel, and I'm trying to call people to Jesus Christ. That's what I do. You know what I mean? So that's what I want you to know about me. I'm always silly with my kids. Like, at my funeral, I'll play that Beyonce song that I was here. You know what I mean?
She was here.
Yes.
Here.
I was here. Hangouts, I was here. But it ain't about me. And you would think that it is, but to be quite honest, I don't really even like being in the spotlight. You know what I mean? I really don't. You'll see my pictures and stuff, but everything like on Facebook and all that stuff is just for marketing for the things that I do have going on. But I don't know. I mean, I could play the background just fine and be happy with that.
So this concludes another hangout. I hope you enjoyed watching us talk about ourselves. And I'm glad you just tuned in for more.
Yeah.
And anything?
No, that was it. We'll see you next time.
And
Before we go though, because I almost forgot, as we leave, we want to show you something, because we talked about the trailer, and then we also talked about the music video. So hang around so you guys can check them out.
Check it out.
Check.
We're out.
Right.
Stay tuned. When we
Okay.
dance to the music. Oh.
Get it.
And we're out.
Find me, speaking from the heart, don't mind me. Everything is gold, ain't shiny. You can lose it all even when you shiny. You used to having dirty hands, we trying to wash them clean. Closet got a few things, ain't talking about jeans. Don't get caught sleeping, you hope it was a dream. Can't get away from trouble, it follows. Can't get away from trouble, it follows.